So this was a fascinating story. We were both kind of interested in this. Apparently, attendance at Disney World is way down. Put this up on the screen. This is from the Wall Street Journal. So the way that they measured this is kind of interesting to me, too. They measure the wait times on rides, like the average time you have to wait in line in order to get on rides at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. And at each of those sub-parks of Disney World, wait times are way down on the July 4th weekend, which, look, it's hot as hell in Florida during the summer, so people actually prefer to go Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Those are the real peak season at Disney World. But July 4th, over the summer when people are on vacation, this is also a really key time for the park. So to see such a drop-off from 2022, and then they go back to 2019 pre-pandemic is pretty fascinating. I'll read you a little bit of the Wall Street Journal analysis. They say that former Disney finance chief Christine McCarthy indicated they anticipated lower demand. This sounds like Cope to me for the second half of the year because Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration had ended. They also say, and this seems to me to be more honest, they kind of intentionally thinned the park's crowds because they upped the cost of everything to make it more of like a luxury experience, I guess, and sort of like thin the herd so that people can pay more and wait less in line, and they feel like that's going to work out in terms of their bottom line. They also point out that some of this may be industry-wide, so not specific to Disney. Crowds, they indicate, were also relatively light at Universal Orlando. The average wait time there was 28 minutes on July 4th. That's down from 38 minutes in 2022, but it was more in line with 2019 levels. So there does seem to be something kind of specific going on here in terms of Disney World. You found this, Saagar, yes. Disney fanatic. There's the whole world of like Disney trip planning and Disney World blogs. This one, Disney fanatic, put this up on the screen, talked about a podcast where a Disney History Institute analyst explained that families are being hit in terms of the ticket prices, that they are pricing out their primary audience, which is middle-class families. In the past, this analyst said families would make multiple trips to Disney Park after a successful first trip, and now families are unable to gather the funds for even that first trip, making follow-up trips unlikely. So that's some of the information. I'm sure people out there will also be like, oh, it's because they went woke. Maybe.
It's possible.
It's possible. Yeah. There's some political piece of this as well, where conservative families who are more ideological are like, I don't really want to spend my dollars there. I'll do something different. But I think it's more likely that the increase in ticket prices and food prices and all of those things are probably to blame.
The big and sad question is did it take a revenue hit? Because the reality is that if they can make it effectively a premium product, you can have less people and you can make a ton more money. One of my favorite business books of all time called Disney War, I forget exactly who wrote it, the same person who wrote Den of Thieves. It'll come to me in a second. But that book actually outlined kind of the path to profit and the giant that Disney is today via Michael Eisner and eventually the takeover of Bob Iger, who has now returned as the CEO. And the really sad part is that a lot of it just comes down to bilking people who are trying to take their families. Yep. And I'm talking about, like, in the beginning, parking used to be free at Disney World. Now it's like $50. They actually doubled it.
Tickets used to be like $3.50 or something like crazy like that.
Walt Disney correctly had a vision of bringing to life the characters which he was able to put on the screen and making it a centerpiece of American life. And he succeeded, in that vision. And then really what happened is they monetized as much as humanly possible as the IP to turn Disney into the multi-gajillion dollar company that it is today. But the problem that I see really in this is, where is the middle class experience now? Like, what are you supposed to do when you are a middle class person and you want to provide a family vacation, which is, ticks the boxes and give people the experience? I was talking with my parents when we were in India, and they were calling the first time they took me to Disney World. Apparently, I tried to bite one of them, so that's me.
You tried to bite one of them?
One of my parents, because I was tired and I was too hot.
I didn't know you were a biter.
Apparently, I was. I don't think any people who watch the show will be surprised by that. I don't know what it is about kids and biting. I don't really get it. You have to like train children.
Yeah,
not to bite.
I don't know. Some kids are more anyway.
Yeah.
Every preschool, this happens at least once a year. Anyway, Yeah, I remember my first trip we went to Disney World once when I was a kid. We did a road trip down from Virginia. It was right around my 6th birthday when I was in kindergarten. And I still remember parts. I mean, I was a little kid, but I still remember parts of that trip. Disney World is really like the iconic, seminal, middle-class vacation. It's almost like it's almost like a bedrock of what you feel like as a middle-class parent you should be able to provide for your kids. But my question wouldn't be, okay, what is the middle-class experience now? It's where is the middle class?
Yes.
Because the reason why Disney and many other companies too, by the way, are leaning into, all right, we're gonna move up the food chain, we're gonna offer this more premium, more expensive experience, is because those are the people that still, those are the people who have money. Those are the people who have expendable income. And so when you have this huge split and massive income inequality and all of these things, if you're just looking for like, where are the people with the revenue that I can squeeze out, it's increasingly not the middle class. It's certainly not the working class as people are pushed up and, against the wall and many times over the cliff. It's those upper middle class families that are, doing better, that, they may have issues with housing costs or whatever, but they're in the higher professional classes and they're able to afford the Disney vacation and not look twice at the way they're getting price gouged at every single turn and the way hotel costs have escalated and the way that concession costs have escalated, et cetera. So, there was a concept a number of years ago that came out of the economics profession of the plutonomy, where a number of analysts were advising companies that, hey, if you want to maximize your revenue, this is the segment of the market you need to go after because everyone else is getting squeezed so much, they just aren't going to be able to provide you with the revenue and the profit generation that you're going to be looking for. So Disney following a lot of broader economic trends here, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, Krystal, unfortunately. And let's put this also up there on the screen of what you found, which is kind of mind-boggling. 18% of Disney goers have racked up debt, but, quote, most have no regrets. Let me just go ahead and plug a Dave Ramseyism. Please do not go into debt whenever to go on vacation, no matter what said vacation is. It will put you behind, and it definitely is a problem. You should only go on vacation if you can afford it.
I don't know.
In terms of...
People don't regret experiences.
They don't regret experience.
Childhood memories.
Okay, but that's not worth 28% credit card interest, okay? But again, I'll just channel Ramsey there. Yeah, look, I mean, if you want to put yourself in that situation, it's your money. You decide what you want to do. I do think, though, what this is generally showing is the level of expense that which people have come to expect a normal vacation. It comes to the conversation that we're having around parking, the fees for parking, the fees for tickets, for so much of this behavior, where the inability to really access, a normal vacation at a modest price for like a family of 4, that's very much disappearing. And I guess I'll give a plug, even though this is not in my interest because they are getting more crowded. National parks, they're not free, but they're pretty close whenever it comes to the admittance fee and all of that. And it remains probably one of the only really accessible things that a lot of people can do with their children these days, which is a good thing, but I also think it's sad.
Yeah. Amazing. Favorite place, Great Smoky Mountains.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been to that one. I actually would like to go.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. And just one last thing to underscore how it probably is the cost that is driving these trends. They found in that study, most people had been to Disney World. Most people who had gone to at least one theme park had gone to Disney World. But of the people who had not been to it, they said the top reason for not going was because of the cost. So for people who are making the decision to forgo, they're not including it in their vacation. There was some percentage that was just like, I just don't like theme parks. But 48%, the top reason was it's too expensive. So I think that says a lot.
Big problem. Big problems on the horizon.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.